Last week, something happened that I cannot really explain. It was the usual Thursday night, and I left my office around 5 p.m. I tried to book an Uber, and it was at that exact moment that my phone decided to die out. I wasn't carrying a spare charger, and after a while of debating whether I should take the bus, I saw a yellow taxi approaching me. The taxi stopped before me.
"Where to, sir?"
said a deep voice as he rolled down his window. "Housing Street, 340, I asked.
"Sure, get in."
He seemed to be in his late 50s, with a gray beard that made him look even older. I got inside, and after sitting in traffic for a while, we finally reached Highway 49. We went up on the highway, and without my phone to look at, I kept staring outside at the evening sky. The road was more or less empty. It was eerily too empty, without a single car passing us by or even in front of us. In the beginning, I didn't notice it that much. We crossed a gas station, a hardware store, and then we went past a church. We went past a big signboard, after which we were supposed to turn left. It was the usual scenery, but I didn't remember it, because I'd either occupied myself by listening to music or fidgeting with my phone in the past. This is when things started to get absurd. There was no left turn, like every other day. The empty road just kept moving forward endlessly. This didn't bother me at first. I chucked it up to me being inattentive every other day, as I never did look at the road. Maybe the left turn was a bit further down the road, I thought. The evening sun was still at the same place, with the orange sky surrounding the landscape. And that's when it happened. Our taxi passed the gas station, the hardware store, and the church again. To this day, I have never had a feeling of deja vu as strong as the one I had that day. Then came the signboard. Then there was supposed to be a left turn, but the road just kept moving endlessly forward. I thought my mind was playing tricks on me. The next time, I was ready. It happened again. The car passed the gas station, the hardware store, and the church again. The setting sun was fixated at the same position, or at least it looked like that to me. I was slowly freaking out. The driver didn't seem unnerved by all of this. It's as if he didn't even notice. Then the signboard came, again. And like the last time, there was no left turn. The car kept going endlessly straight on the empty highway. We passed the gas station, the hardware store, and the church again. And then the signboard passed by. And again, as I had unfortunately started expecting, there was no left turn. I was terrified at what was happening at this point. I looked at the driver, and the old man didn't seem to care. By the fourth time this was starting to happen, I knew that I had to get off. A wide range of thoughts were racing through my mind, and my immediate response was to get out of the taxi. I knew the old man could sense my nervousness after the fourth time. I did not know what was happening, and I had never felt so helpless before in my life. "Can you drop me off near the gas station?" I asked, trying to maintain my calm as best I could. He didn't respond. With a straight face, he kept driving. What was happening? "Excuse me, I want to get out at the gas station," I said.
"We can't do that. We have to keep going,"
he said calmly with a voice that managed to echo inside the small taxi. With a heavy heart filled with fear, I didn't have the courage to ask why. Beads of sweat were beginning to form on my forehead on the cool winter evening. I gripped a pen from my pocket and sat holding it. If he tries to make a sudden move, I'm going for his throat, I thought. I didn't know what to do. The doors were unlocked, but the car was moving at a speed which would guarantee a lot of fractured bones if I decided to jump out. I decided to wait. The sun stood still. The evening sky, in all its magnificent glory, suddenly looked terrifying. It's funny how beautiful things can horrify you given the right context. The gas station passed by, along with the hardware store and the church. Then the signboard passed by. and still the car kept going forward. Then it happened again, and again, and again. I started feeling nauseous at this point. My stomach turned and I felt like the ride would go on for forever. What am I supposed to do anyway? I was afraid of asking the old man anything after his last response. I didn't want to lose my mind, even though I could feel the adrenaline surging in my body, urging me to do something. He could swerve his car into a tree and we'd both be dead in an instant, assuming that he was human and that he could die. The gas station passed by again, as did the hardware store and the church, then the signboard. And then, when I was least expecting it, finally a left turn appeared in front of us. The taxi turned left, and I felt a wave of relief wash over me. I was finally going home. What just happened, I thought? Why did I see the same road over and over again? Was I stuck in a time loop? Am I in a parallel dimension? Will it happen again right now? I was praying to reach home safely and trying not to think so much. I was sure I would jump out of the taxi if I saw another road repeating, but none of that happened. We reached my home after a journey which felt like forever. As soon as it stopped, I got out of the taxi as fast as possible. How much, I asked. I was afraid of asking him anything else about our ride, but looking at his face, I knew that he knew what and why that had happened. I was too afraid of finding out what. I just wanted to go home and return to my normal life at this point, but he just kept looking at me. And then I saw in his eyes, they were filling up with tears. That was the last thing I saw before he abruptly looked forward and drove away without taking any fare. That was it. The weirdest and most terrifying experience of my life. I thought the worst was over, till I went home and switched on the TV. In the evening news, one headline was such that I'll never be able to get it out of my head. Major accident alert. A truck swerved into a yellow taxi at 3 p.m. on Highway 49, killing the taxi driver instantly. 3 others suffered minor injuries. According to sources, the taxi driver was an old man in his 50s. Police are currently investigating and rescue personnel are still on the spot. Highway 49 will remain closed until tomorrow.